Do you have a sack celebration?
I do have a sack celebration, but I might have to do a Permanis for sure celebration. I might gotta pull a sandwich out my backpack, eat the sandwich after the sack.
Yeah, sprinkle the fries on the
sandwich. Sprinkle the fries over top of JT. That might be a good one.
All right, my friend. I have something for you. Let's see, where did I put it? Right here. All right, man. You know what these are, right?
I do.
You
open these up, man. Woo. Oh, nah.
Are they week one ready?
Nah, for sure. I think these 3 sacks worthy right here. I think I'm calling 3 sacks in these.
I think you need like a custom like Permani celebration. Like, do you have a sack celebration?
I do have a sack celebration. I do have one. I swiped the cleats off and I kicked my leg up. So I got a couple pictures like that, but I might have to do a Permani's for sure celebration. I might gotta pull a sandwich out my backpack, eat the sandwich after the sack.
Yeah, sprinkle the fries on the sandwich.
Sprinkle the fries over top of JT. That might be a good one. That might be a good one. Now these are crazy. I ain't gonna lie. These gonna catch a lot of eyes.
With that uniform too, that I think
the
those
blue and yellow.
Nah,
them gonna be crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm surprised you guys didn't do it, or maybe this is like top secret info that I actually haven't even. There's no alternate uniform, is there, for the game?
There is not an alternate uniform, but there is something that is gonna be different. That's gonna look really good under the bright lights. I can't spill the beans, but it's gonna be something different that they haven't done in a long time. So I'm excited,
dude. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Can I pass this to one of you guys off camera here? Just get them out of the shot. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I mean, I saw WVU dropped some alternate. I think they're wearing them in the game.
Yeah, they're wearing
them in the
game.
So
first game. Yep.
I'm excited. I've been waiting for you guys to do something like that. So I knew you got something up your sleeve.
We're trying to keep it under wraps. It's gonna be a good one. I like it.
Yeah, I'm excited. How do you feel? Like you know, this obviously this episode is dropping. Today's game day. So not today, but the day this drops. So
Thursday.
We just wrapped up. Well, I say we, but camp's over, getting ready for the season now. You're going to do like daily practice, school start, and all this stuff. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Body's feeling good. Been taking care of it. Watching extra film. You know, we've been looking. It's kind of hard doing that whole camp stuff and looking to a big game like this, but you kind of like those 2-week reigns get into you. Like, all right, like it's starting to settle in now. Right. So now we've been putting in extra work, late nights, coming in, watching film on certain guys and make sure we got everything settled down for Thursday, because this is a big one. Yeah, people are putting it in the realms of the AC Championship. So if it's on that level, then I can only imagine what the play is gonna be made.
I can't think of another game. I can't think of another Pitt opening season game that has, in the history of the organization, that's been this hyped. Right? Yeah, this has got to be the biggest game.
Might be, honestly, just
biggest week 1 game.
Just the fact that it's been almost a decade since the game's been played. So. This has been building up for a long time, and I know like once the game dropped, I mean they were talking about buying tickets 2 years ahead of the game.
Wild,
so it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I went to college at West Liberty, which is in West Virginia. I didn't go to WVU, obviously. I've always been a Pitt guy. My dad went to Pitt for a couple semesters. He didn't graduate from there, but we've just always had Pitt blood, you know, in our family. So. I've always grown up rooting for Pitt, and then when I went to school, you know, when you're at a D2 school, you still like pay attention. Like it's weird because like you're in this like mixture of like you play college football, but like still D1 is like you still feel like it's not weird to cheer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you're a colleague of those guys. You're the same age, but it's like it's still a next level up.
Right, exactly.
So I still followed Pitt. I would go to like a couple games here and there back then, but a lot of my friends grew up in West Virginia and were huge WVU fans, and that was right after the big upset game. So I had like the ultimate bragging rights through college, because anytime they'd say anything about Pitt, I'd just be like, yo, like, cause one of my good friends, he played quarterback, he had already bought tickets for the national championship game that year, and he said, I was in high school, he said I cried in my dad's arms when they lost that game.
Man,
and I just brought me a lot of joy.
Hey man, that 13-9 game, that's what they've been preaching. That's like the last game that changed it all. Like that year they were set to the national championship. Yeah. And it's crazy that my D-line coach, he was there at that game, so he's been telling us stories like to try to put us in the mindset like this is a different.
Because a lot of you guys, this is like, I mean, you understand, I'm sure, the weight because of the hype, but you've never really truly lived. A lot of you guys aren't from Pittsburgh or West Virginia, so it's like you're kind of removed a little bit. So is it kind of hard to mentally get to that level of like, oh my God? Or do you think it'll hit you like there's no way to prepare for it, is what I'm trying to say, right?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I feel like the best opportunity to really just understand is probably like just go learn your history. Yeah. Like I think just a couple of days ago we had I had a kickoff luncheon with the seniors, and we talked. LaShawn McCoy came. He told a story about how like when he was playing in that game, when they played a 13-9 game, he was like, guys, like this is. They hate y'all. Like it's not, regardless of what it is. Yeah, you could be the best player on the team, but it's just something about that different blue and gold that they really don't like. Yep. So he tried to like really speak to us like, y'all honestly have to really dig deep and think about the guys that came before you, right, and how they played in this game. And that's something that we've been trying to pull from different places and stuff like that to really get us understanding what it means to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games where you make a splash play, you go. Nobody forgets it. Right, nobody's gonna forget it. It's immortalized. Exactly. Like they might make a statue for you someday. You know what I'm saying? So like, not to overhype you and get you too excited, but man, I can only imagine. I mean, the feeling of taking that field, or like what that's gonna feel like, especially just like even the first, like, cause you go through camp, right? And then you get the first day of photo shoots. You get to put the uniform on, the media day, like all that stuff, and it's like, man, I just can't wait to like actually suit up and hit somebody in the face, man. And then like that feeling when you take the field. Can you describe like what you're anticipating or what you think that'll feel like?
Honestly, I mean, just once they dropped the ticket sales and said it was sold out, I kind of got like chills. Like I kind of like sat in my room and I just started like imagining like coming out, standing in the tunnel. You start hearing the thunderstruck rolling, the band's playing like, and then as soon as it breaks, you run out of the stadium and the smoke's blowing, and you look out in the stands, just a whole bunch of people screaming to the top of their lungs, saying all types of things. It's like, all right, and you get on the sideline, you like, okay. Now you start looking around, lights is bright, but it doesn't really hit me until you get on that field at first. Like you start getting rolling that first play, and it's like, all right, I'm settled in now. It's all good. But
are you more of a chill pregame guy, or are you like hyped, like emotions on your sleeve, like type?
I try to stay chill in the locker room because you never want to be that guy that attracts too much attention. But like on the sideline, like getting ready for the game, when the kickoff is starting, I'm losing it. I just because like you built all that anticipation is building up, and it's been times like drug, dude. It's been times I done shed a couple tears, just like I really can't wait.
I'm so glad you said that because you were like, nah, keep it cool, and you don't want to be that guy. And I'm sitting here thinking like, bro, the highest level of football I played was D2, right? And there was one game. I mean, in high school. Right. I used to tear up. Right. I mean, I'd be taking we used to come out to these like this drum beat and we'd follow the band down and it was like this long path. We were awful. Right. Didn't matter. Dude, taking the field in front of like your peers and like that it's a drug that you honestly, if you've never experienced it, it's hard to explain it. Really. And you kind of chase it for the rest of your life.
Every single time.
That feeling is unbelievable. So I'm pumped for you that dude, you're in this stage of life. And I know you got a long career ahead of you, but like you're about to like live something that you'll never forget, dude. I'm excited for you. For sure. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about you. Right. Obviously, like, you know, like I said, this is dropping on game day. And there's probably unlimited content out there about like predictions, scores, what we think is going to happen, all like the football talk. But I want to get to know you a little bit, like, you know, behind the scenes of like what makes you, how'd you end up at Pitt, Trap Walker, what you know, what's your whole deal? So let's go back to like maybe growing up. Right. When was the first time you realized you wanted to play football?
Honestly, I want to say I started in like 4th grade because I used to live in Georgia with my dad. He was a head coach at a college out there. And I started playing tackle football in 4th grade. And I was like, I mean, I was kind of at that point I was playing because my dad was a coach. I feel like that was the right thing to do. But like growing up, my heart was in basketball. Like I played basketball all the way to like, I want to say 10th grade in high school. Huh. And then like around that time, a lot of my friends were playing football. So I'm like, all right. Like at that point I was around like same height I am now. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be the next LeBron James. So it's probably time to hang up. Like my jump shot is not as good as I thought it was. I wasn't a point guard, so I couldn't really handle the ball. I could get a couple buckets, but I wasn't college ready. So I was like, all right, let's try the football thing out. Yeah. And I mean, I've always been like a natural athlete, so it kind of, I want to say it came easy, but it was kind of natural to me. So, and ever since that, I hit the ball rolling. And
what year did you say you switched from like focus on basketball to football?
I want to say 10th grade of high school was really when I like switched. I was like, all right.
Did you have any interest from schools for hoops?
A little bit, like smaller schools. I played a little bit smaller, like back in Maryland, the AAU circuit is real big, so that's something that people really look forward to when playing basketball. So a lot of small schools, right? And I was playing the 3 or the 4, so they were asking me like, "Are you going to keep growing? Like, you going to hit that growth spurt?" I'm like, I mean, my dad's only 6'1", so I don't know what's going to happen. I can't really predict that.
You brought up your dad. I actually met him the other day randomly.
Yeah.
So like we're in the studio right now in Market Square, and I'm going to get. I was like getting like Chipotle or coffee or something. I'm walking. I see the Trap Walker on a T-shirt. I know you sell merch, but I didn't anticipate it being your dad. And he's like got the shirt on, and I looked and I was like, "Yo, you know John?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's my son." And they're like, "How do you know him?" You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm making some cleats." He's like, "Oh, you're the guy." Okay,
yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah,
it's a small world, dude.
It's small. He was definitely excited when I told him about the opportunity to make the cleats. He was like, "Man, listen." He was like, "If you get some custom cleats now, it's gonna be you got to show out. You can't put on no fly stuff like that and think you just go out there and not do nothing." So he was more excited than me. I was just on the phone. He was like, "Man, you got the cleats yet? Can you send me a picture of it?" I'm like, "Just relax, man. I'm gonna show you once I'm done with the. You know what I'm saying? Done with the meeting."
Tell him not to leak any pictures yet.
No pictures. I'm telling no pictures for sure.
Nah, but I don't care what he does. He can do whatever he wants. But cool, man. Yeah, let's keep going with like so you find out you want to play football. Transition from basketball. Right. What was like your first moment playing football where you're like, I got a career in this, like I can do something in this?
I want to say
a game or a play or like.
I probably want to say it's probably my senior year. We played a game. I want to say it was maybe like third or fourth game of the season, and like I remember like it was yesterday. I think with the score we was down maybe a touchdown, and we had came out on defense, and like for some reason I just felt like a internal fire. Like it kind of like clicked. Like all right, I got to do something or we're gonna lose this game. So like. I went out there, I think, like in the fourth quarter, I had like 2 TFLs, like a couple sacks, and then we got
Were you playing defensive line?
I was playing defensive line at the time, and it was crazy. That game, that was the first time Coach Partridge that come and see me play as a D lineman, because I was playing a little bit of linebacker early, but that was my first time playing 4-down D lineman on the edge, and he seen me that was one of the biggest games of my career.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of set it off. But yeah, that was probably like the game where I was like, all right, I really probably can do this at the next level. So I was really excited after that game. That was a big game for us for sure, my senior year in high school.
That's awesome. And so then coaches started talking, and you end up landing at Pitt. What was like the deciding factor for you to choose Pitt?
Honestly, like in high school, I kind of made myself proud of like putting myself in a position to really work hard and stuff like that. So like I always took the time to really look at rosters going in like a high school of schools that was recruiting me, like just so I can see who was ahead of me, like what would have to come in and compete with. And looking at Pitt, I saw like Rashad Weaver, Patrick Jones, guys like Dwayne Hendricks. They were stacked. So I'm like, all right, might be somewhere I want to go, just because I always want to be someone that I can learn from those guys. Those guys in the NFL right now. So that was one of like the deciding factors of me going to Pitt. I was like, I want to go somewhere.
Kind of a pipeline for defensive linemen.
I want to go somewhere I can join that groups, take my time, learn, kind of like the Patrick Mahomes idea, like sit for a year, learn a little bit. And I took that time these past 3-4 years to really learn from those guys, and now I'm right in that same position they were in to make that next jump to the next level. So that was probably the biggest thing that probably put me in a position to choose Pitt.
I guess looking back, you made the right decision.
Man, hell yeah.
But did you ever think that going into your senior year, you would be in this position, returning ACC champs?
Right.
You're ranked in the top 20.
Right.
You have arguably the biggest game of the first half of the season, at least. What does that feel like? Did you think? Because let's be honest. 4 years ago, Pitt isn't what Pitt is now.
Exactly right.
So, like, you've helped in this rebuild, this growth. What does that feel like, I guess is my question, to see something go from, like, you came in and it was a seed that was planted, and you've seen it flourish into this, like, beautiful thing that you guys are getting to step into now.
Right. It's crazy, man, to look back and just seeing those 4 or 5 years, looking back and seeing where I was at coming in as a freshman to the point where I'm one of the senior leaders on the defense. And it's crazy, man. A lot of people don't understand all the hard work we put in, the times we came in, like I said, late nights, the times that guys were missing time with their family to stay here and really put in the extra work to get us to the point we are now. So, it's honestly a blessing to see the success we've had last year and the success we're going to have this year. So I'm really excited to really put it all together.
Yeah.
We trying, like I said, I tell guys we're trying to get to California.
Yeah.
We played in Charlotte, but I want to go to SoFi. I ain't never been to Cali, so national championships on my brain right now.
Never been to Cali?
Never been to Cali before, really? So if the first time was a national championship, that would be something.
That's where it is? It's in SoFi?
SoFi. So Aaron Donald, be on the lookout.
Yeah, man.
Save me a seat. I'm there for sure.
That's up. And then you can walk. You got to do the.
I got to do the ring. I did it on the championship. I got a picture. I did the ring. I got a picture of me doing the ring. So
we'll have to put it on the episode.
If I can get one in SoFi for sure, I can definitely.
That would be like legendary to see like you side by side in the same stadium.
That'll be lit.
Oh my gosh, it's got to happen.
It's got to happen. It's destined. It's got to happen. It's destined.
Let's speak it. But yeah. So I'm hyped, as you could tell. I could tell you are too.
Right.
But I could talk about. I feel like we would just keep coming back to this hyped game,
right.
And I'm trying to not do that.
Right.
I'm trying to keep on your journey getting there, because I'm interested in this podcast. The reason I started it is because the whole art and sports collab, and obviously I'm an artist. I'm an ex football player.
Right.
I used to play college, and then transitioning into this now, I get to still be involved in sports culture and see my work on the field and stuff like that. So it's an outlet for me, and I really just want to not only just for people that watch the sport and educate them on how much art is interwoven into their favorite sport, but for other athletes that have creative talents or passions, because it's kind of suppressed when you're an athlete. It's just show up, lift these weights, run these plays, learn this playbook, and that's who you are. And that's what the fan base sees you as too, is you're this football player. But the truth is you're a football player for this much time in your life, and if you're lucky, you get a little bit of extension. But what are the things that you're passionate about outside of football? Maybe creative, music. What is it that you like to do?
Personally, I've been really trying to get into graphic design or something. I feel like that's where I spend a lot of my time, and people look at me on the team as the music guy. I'm the guy that when they want a playlist, they come to me like, John, put us on some new music. So I'm always dancing. So if you see me on the sideline doing some type of moves, this is where it stemmed from. But yeah, I've always been a creative guy. I've always tested looking on YouTube, trying to look at how to create clothes or bring my own style to anything, because at the end of the day, you never want to be a robot. I always want to be the guy, I always said, you look good, play good. You play good, get paid good. So any point in time where I can put a little swag on my style and make it pop, and that when you make it pop, they see you make a splash play that always sticks. So whenever it comes that way, it's always been something I try to stick by. So I always try to find a creative way through my game to do stuff like that, for sure.
I always loved growing up, looking at the guys who had a signature look, or and I'm always I wanted to be like that. I had the visor. I had this was 2010. So this was before there were rules back then. You could only wear gray gloves. You couldn't even wear colored gloves on the field.
That's crazy.
And that wasn't a team rule. That was an NCAA rule. So it's come so far now to the point where you're wearing custom cleats. You get the NIL deals are in the picture. It's it's a whole different
ball game
world.
Exactly.
But when you were I guess getting started out, who was it that I guess you maybe modeled your game, but not only your game after, but your swag after?
Coming through high school, I feel like that was around freshman. That was around 2014, 2015. So that's when Odell was hot.
Okay.
Odell was hot. That's when everybody wanted to do the scrunchy socks. Wear the socks with you had D linemen wearing these socks all the time. Looking crazy with 90 numbers on, stuff like that. And I want to say, growing up, going through high school and coming into college, Von Miller's really the guy I looked to for anything, whether it be clothes, drip on the field, just my game in general. I feel like that's the guy I really try to model my game after. And then I want to say the game that really stuck with me was the Super Bowl 50 when they played the Panthers. He got that strip sack versus Cam Newton. And I'm like, okay. I watched that game over and over, and that game they played that game. The next football game I had, I went and looked at the exact whatever he won that game. I wore that the exact next game, just so I could see maybe Mike like Mike, you kiss your cleats or your shoes, you drip, maybe you make a couple plays. So Von Miller's definitely the guy I look to for sure for my drip, or just on the field and off the field, definitely.
That's a good one. Cam should have dove on that ball though.
Hey man, some money makers like that. Sometimes you gotta make business decisions. So I ain't gonna speak on that. Business decisions for sure.
I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. You got all those bodies jumping in on you. It's one of those things where when you're watching it, you're like, why didn't you jump on the ball? But when you're in the bodies are flying. It's crazy how your brain has to make such quick decisions, and
for sure.
And it's one split hesitation, and you're. Yeah,
a whole different outcome can happen.
It's a whole different outcome.
Exactly.
I kind of had the same thing, with my helmet build and everything. My number was 89.
Okay.
And so I was an undersized wide receiver and Steve Smith. You know what I mean? I was like, whatever he wears, I'll do that.
Exactly.
And that was back when the NFL was still wearing Reebok. So Reebok cleats were even hot at the time, and. So I don't know. Regardless, but there's always that one person.
Yeah, for sure.
That you kind of that's my dude.
That's the guy you want to model your game after, for sure.
So how'd you come up with your number? Was that assigned to you? Did you choose your number?
So short story. like I said, my dad was a college coach, so he coached at North Carolina Central, which is a HBCU in North Carolina.
Yep.
And growing up, I was always around college football, and like I call him my older brother. His name's Ty Brown. He wore 6 at school, and that was the guy I kind of like followed around campus. Like when he used to always take me around the school and stuff like that. So he wore 6 in college.
Okay.
And like that was kind of where it stemmed from. He passed away. So like I told my dad, like when I committed to Pitt, I was like, if I get an opportunity to wear 6, like I want to wear it in honor of him. And then when I told Coach Narduzzi and Coach Partridge the reason behind it, they was like all on board.
Yeah.
So like ever since then, like I've been wearing 6 all through.
Did you come in at 6?
I came in at 6.
Okay,
freshman, I was one of the only. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 guys that had single digits of freshmen.
It's rare that they give you the pick of the
for sure
of the numbers when you're that. But college you can do too, right? Like you can have offense and defense.
Offense and defense.
Which I don't even think. We didn't even have enough money to have that many jerseys where I played, so just take whatever number.
I understand.
We talked about it on a past episode. One of my first numbers in football was 77, and they lined me up out there looking stupid, dude.
Wow.
I was in like 2nd grade.
That's that's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, so keep progressing here through like with your, you got your role models, your, whatever. When you got to Pitt,
right.
Obviously there's this lineage of just incredible defensive linemen.
Right.
Have any of them reached out to you? Are you in contact with like Aaron Donald? Are you like do you have a relationship, I guess, with past Pitt players that kind of mentor? Or
yeah, I mean, like throughout that time, they always swing by, like always coming in to work out or just talk to coaches that was there when they played. Like I remember one game that I remember vividly. I think Juan Price came back and talked to us before a game, and like I felt like coming in as a freshman, that was a guy that they said was like really like the sack guru. That was his thing, to really get to the quarterback. Yeah. And I kind of tried to model my game after him. It didn't work out the best, and my coach kind of didn't like it because he kind of played off the wall a couple times, So, but when he came back, I like tried to sit down and talk to him like what are some of the ways like you really tried to look at the game outside of just the X's and O's, like how'd you watch some stuff like that. He gave me a lot of good pointers, man. I really appreciate that. AD always comes back and trains with the strength stats and stuff like that. Always work out on the field, so. Anytime I get any knowledge from him, it's always a quick question like, what do you think on this move? Or can you teach me something that you did in the game? Stuff like that. Yeah. So I feel like that's one of the good things about Pitt. Like they have a lot, like you said, a lot of D-line lineage, a lot of just NFL players that always want to come back to university and come back to the facility and really still be in that space. And I feel like that's different from a lot of schools. You don't really see that. I mean, you don't see a facility that's connected to an NFL team. So that's another blessing that I really appreciate for sure.
Yeah. Going to, more uniform talk here. The rebrand.
Yeah.
That's probably got to go down as one of the best
for sure
moves in any, like, are you a fan?
Oh yeah.
Were you like did you like the navy and gold, or are you more of like a blue and yellow?
I'm a person, I like the blue and yellow personally. I feel like the only thing that I wish we could have kept was like maybe a navy gold retro. I feel like just during that time, like I think we had like when I first got, we had like an all navy look. It was a navy matte helmet and navy bottom.
Yeah, I remember
navy top, navy bottom. And I feel like if we could have brought maybe just one of those retro jerseys back, I feel like that would have been definitely lit. Like you just got to think. I mean, those type of jerseys bring memories back for the fans, because I mean it's fans from all different lineages that been through so many different colors. So just to have opportunity to wear that same color, to bring that color back for those guys, it will be good. But hopefully one day.
Yeah. We usually wait till the end of the episode to get into this segment, but we're already talking about it, so let's just do this. All right. Okay. The segment I told you about. It's called uniform. You basically design a uniform from the ground up. Whatever you like to see or whatever, I'm gonna mock it up, create a concept out of it, and then we'll put it out there to social media, see what people think or whatever. So this is your chance right here, man. What would you like to see Pitt do?
So personally, I'm really big in throwbacks. Like, I mean, you got to do your research. You got to think about Dan Marino, Bill Fralick, Louis Riddick, those guys like that. Of course, I want to keep it the classic blue and gold. The blue and gold is definitely the cleanest look. And
like your current shade of blue and gold?
Current shade of the royal blue. Yeah. Definitely, that's the best look for me. And I want to go a little throwback. I just looked at a picture of Dan Marino the other day with the royal blue with the yellow and white sleeves. Yeah. I feel like that'll be crazy. I feel like that's me personally. I want to knock what we got now, but looking back on it, that's probably the best retro jersey. So I think they had that same color when Tony Dorsett and them won the national championship. That was something that was big. And I want to say, I really think maybe the royal blue and yellow Dino Cat on the helmet. That'll be. I think a lot of people don't really.
So like Dino Cat in your current colors.
In the current colors on the helmet. So like you can do.
I saw someone recently mock that up, and it looked crazy.
I'm about to say
I wish I could shout out who it was. I'm gonna think after this. I'll put him in like the description if I can think of it. But someone like a graphic designer in Pittsburgh mocked that up, and it looked.
Dino
wild.
Cat is probably one of like the most. Me personally, I think one of the most slept on logos. But it's something
people either love it or hate
exactly,
it.
Yeah,
I mean, some people are like never bring it back.
Right.
But I mean, that was like me growing up. I was a huge Pitt fan during like the Rod Rutherford, Larry Fitzgerald, you know, H.B. Blades, like that whole era of Pitt football. Yeah. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was, I think, one of the first players that made me want to play wide receiver.
Exactly.
And I liked his game because I wasn't the fastest person. I was really quick. So I didn't have any sort of game like Larry Fitzgerald, but his hands. I was like, I can do that. Like, I can't run a route like Larry Fitzgerald. I can't get separation or whatever like Larry Fitzgerald. I can't be 6'5" like Larry Fitzgerald, but I can catch everything that hits my hands. And that was what I did. And like I trained to be able to be like a reliable slot receiver. And he inspired me. Like his catching radius was just, I'll never forget some of his plays at Pitt.
I mean, it's crazy you just brought that up. I was talking to one of our video guys. He was there that year when Larry Fitzgerald came in. He said this is in person. Like he says he's been with the team 20 plus years. And he said he's the only player that he felt like could have skipped college coming fresh out of high school. Yeah. So I was like, I mean, I feel like that sums it up by itself, like how good he was coming out of high school. And
I mean, even that year, I fell in love with NCAA football, man, on Xbox. He was on the cover and everything. It was like, dude, he put Pitt football on the map for a little while.
For sure, definitly.
You know? All right, so I think the uniform's going to look cool. I'm going to mock that up. Okay, we'll see what people think. You know what? As you were describing that, with the sleeve stripes, I'm trying to picture it on top of my head, but the jerseys you came in wearing with the navy and gold, was it kind of like they tried to do that design
which is different with the navy and gold? Yeah, they had the white. It was white, gold and white on the sleeve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looked really. It was
a clean look.
That's what I'm saying. It was a clean look for sure.
Clean look. Let's talk about Trap Walker, okay? Because I've heard you describe, the origin of that a little bit, but for those listening or watching that have not heard that, give me the background behind Trap Walker and what that is now.
Right. So pretty much it all started, I want to say, I think it was 2020 season, either 2019 or 2020, I really can't remember, but we had played Georgia Tech like 3 years in a row. We had played them 2019, 2020, 2021 in Atlanta. Okay. So I think either one of them.
They play in the Falcon Stadium?
No, they have their own stadium. It's like 10 minutes away. You can see there. It's crazy. You can look up on the field and look at the Mercedes-Benz. So you can see it from their stadium. Gotcha. But we had kept playing them back at their stadium. We had won those two back-to-back times. And like we had won the locker room, and one of the guys was like, we just took over their trap. This on the third. And I'm like, took over their trap. I'm like, I kind of like that. That kind of rings a bell. So I like ran over to the speaker, and I just typed in on Apple Music, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," and the song popped up. So I clicked the first one that popped up, and I played it, and I like hopped on the locker and started dancing. Yeah. And the video guys recorded it and posted it on Twitter, and like it just went viral. They was like, John Morgan.
I remember that video.
It just went viral. So people just tagging me, "Mr. Walk in your trap, this and the third." So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick with it. So every away game, when we win a game, I'm gonna go in the locker room, play the song, make sure my record and dance, and they just stuck with it. So last year was really when it kind of like exploded, because we had a lot of away games, and they always used to post it. This trap has been taken over by this John Morgan or defense, whatever the case may be. And then at the end of the season, we were like, I think we were the only team at FBS to have go 5-0 on the road.
Oh wow!
So the Pitt,
and you guys had some tough road games.
Had some tough road games. Yeah. So they posted, and it was like 5 traps taken over and tagged me in it. And like that.
Wait, who said this? Pitt?
The Pitt football posted on the Instagram and Twitter and said we've been taking over 5 traps, only FBS school, and they posted me a picture of me, and they like really blew. That's really when it blew up. And ever since then, after that, like once the whole NIL stuff happened, like they get us the opportunity to do that type of stuff. Right. I stuck with it, ran with it. I called my dad. I'm like, we need merch. Like Trap Walker is gonna be something that people can wear. Yeah. Universal.
The hats are sweet, dude. They look great. Yeah. I haven't seen the T-shirts in person, but I've seen a picture of you wearing them. They look awesome. Can you buy that like on your website, or where can you get that?
On my Instagram, my Twitter, I got a link in my bio that takes you right to like the link that you can buy it. I got like hats, hoodies, beanies,
gotcha,
mugs. So whatever you're looking for, I pretty much got it.
Well, the good news is this episode drops today. And there's a home game, so we got a little while before you got the away game. Right. We need the Trap Walker gear. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like, go get your merch right now. You know what I'm saying? Get your merch. Get it in before the away game. Get it in
before the away game. I think the first away game was Western Michigan, so I don't know if y'all want to come to Kalamazoo, Michigan, but whatever the next one is, hopefully it's closer. I want to see y'all in Trap Walker gear for sure.
What do you think's your biggest away game this year? What trap would you like to take over?
I feel like personally, I'd probably say UNC's first, definitely right now, because I've never played in UNC.
Yeah.
Louisville is second, because that's another game I never really played in. But the one I got circled.
I know what you're gonna say.
The one I got circled on my schedule is definitely down in 305 Miami.
Yep.
That's the one. It's got a little sting in my heart. And I've been I ain't gonna speak too much on it, but I can feel it. It's boiling in my chest right now. So best believe, after that game, Thanksgiving weekend, I will make sure everyone knows that trap was definitely conquered and taken over. And I will make sure I will have a great post for that one for sure.
Let's do it, bro. I can't wait to see it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, did they play down at the Dolphin Stadium?
Dolphin Stadium.
Dang.
So they
get to play in some stadiums.
They came to Acrisure and all that stuff. All that.
Have you like stopped calling it Heinz by accident yet?
Because
you're the first person to be on the podcast and reference Acrisure without saying at Heinz. I mean Acrisure.
I call it personally. I call it the act. I feel like that's the.
Ooh, I
feel like that's what it's going to roll with. The act is something that people
like that.
Pack
dude.
The act, whatever you want to.
Hey, you heard it here.
Pack the act. That's the one that's going to
drop the merch.
That's going to roll right there.
Where you at?
Pack the act. Permanis, pack the act. That's going to be the one that's going to roll. So I really think.
Let's go.
I kind of like that. I mean, Heinz Field has got so much history to it. But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody turns over a new leaf. So I mean, everybody that was back in the day when it's still called Heinz, Heinz is what it is. Heinz is Heinz.
Yeah.
But now I feel like going into it, Pack the Act is something that's going to be rolling. Stay on the lookout for sure.
I like that.
For sure, yeah.
I like that. You got to have you're gonna have a home, instead of take over trap, what's like a protect I
guess protect the act is what it's gonna be.
Okay.
Protect the act.
Need like some merch
for sure. I like that.
That's dope, dude. Yeah. I like it. I like when people in your position realize what's on the table in front of them and go after it. You know what I mean? Because it'd be easy to just be a good football player, which you are.
Right.
And you're like I it's not that you cut that short, but you realize that there's more opportunity in this world than just football.
Right.
And I love the brand. I love what it stands for.
Sure.
I think it's gonna follow you into the NFL too, and I'm gonna have to get some merch. We have a hat.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was my bad. I just punched the mic here. So this is signed by you.
Yep.
Right. The blue and yellow, which we got the cleat because this wasn't planned.
It wasn't.
But
yeah,
the cleat
goes
identical to
literally perfect.
And I did not see this.
Yeah, you did. You didn't. You didn't see it before you made the cleat.
And I thought about doing like a white logo to match the swoosh, but I don't know if this is in the shot here. It's identical. So I think we're gonna do a giveaway of some sort with this.
Definitely.
And we're working on the details because it's in conjunction with Permanis.
Yep, Permanis. We're gonna definitely do a giveaway. Okay. Freshly signed Trap Walker, Mr. Walker, your trap hat.
So I guess maybe on social media or something. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this Spotify, iTunes, or whatever, go check out. I'm assuming either. Check out Permani, VC2 Art, and what's your Instagram?
John Morgan 6__. So
okay, we're gonna do something on there. And by the time we get this thing posted, I'll have the details. I'll put it in the description below this video as well, so you'll know exactly how to enter and win this Trap Walker. This thing is sweet. I might just keep it. No, I'm just kidding.
I say that's probably the Trap Walker has probably the biggest seller that I've been getting mostly.
I mean, it's dope. The colors just pop. Like it goes so well with the the pit gear and all that stuff. I've had this hat for way too long, bro, but it was it's my favorite. Like I don't find this pit logo on much anymore.
Yeah, that's personally. I like the logo, the throwback logos, the block letters. I feel like that stuff kind of pops. I mean, you really don't find that's rare finds. Those are rare essence finds that you really can hold value to. So I really feel like that's when always the old letters, the block letters, definitely the ones I reach for.
I know these are team issued shoes, but are you a sneakerhead too?
Man, I try to dip and dab. I mean, I wear a size 15, so it's kind of hard to work your way around that.
We were just talking about that earlier today. Like all these guys drop off these cleats. They're like size 16, 17, 18, and I'm like, dude, I gotta buy more paint because there's you work on a shoe this size, you can get maybe like 20 pair out of a bottle of paint. You work on a couple of these, and you're out of paint in like two pairs.
So I try to, when I can, I try to dip and dab in different releases and stuff like that. But I mean, I try to. It's kind of hard. So if I see something I like, I'll try to sneak and grab it. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's a different game now. When I was into sneakers, it was like I worked at a sneaker store, so it was easy for me to cop them. But like once I got out of that, I don't really buy shoes anymore. I bought these back in like 2014,
Laney 5s, man.
2015.
Yeah.
And you can see how much I wore them.
Yeah,
not really much, but
I mean,
I have a couple pair that I keep.
Gotta wear your shoes, man. Don't be the guys that keep your shoes in the box.
Nah.
Wear your shoes, man. Put on the outfit. Wear your shoes. Go out. Have people take pictures of them.
I couldn't agree more.
I've
actually wore these a lot.
I was about to say.
I'm just good at like
keeping them clean.
Keeping them clean, or like I'll if I'm in here working, I'll pull some like slides out so I don't drop some paint on them.
That's real. That's smart for sure.
Yeah, man. Anything else that you want to plug? I guess leading into the season, any like events that you have or things that you want people to know about?
Yeah. So personally, the one thing I want to bring up, I'm trying to start like I plugged in with an NIL deal with Orange Arrow, and I'm trying to do raise $10,000 throughout the season. So to do that, I'm trying to come out with a link soon before the season starts, or maybe right after the first game. Sean Robinson, he played here at University of Pittsburgh. He's a local guy. He played in the backyard brawl, so he has some history. He called me a couple of days ago and talked to me kind of laid it on me like, listen, man, this is forget all the other games.
You're probably getting so many phone calls. Man, like, do you understand the weight of this?
Literally, exactly. So like that's something I'm really looking forward to with that. I mean, those like just that whole process working with Orange Arrow. I'm always been a guy that wanted to get back to the community. So if I have opportunity to do it in the city I've been, that's given me so much love. Why not do it with that guy and stuff like that? And he's one of my best friends. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be on the lookout for those details on my Instagram and stuff like that. So
yeah, if you get some of that, also just send it to me. I'll put it in the description here too, so you guys can access that or whatever.
Sounds good.
But yeah, anything else, man? Did we miss anything here? Are we missing anything?
I don't think so.
I feel like we could talk for like 3-4 hours. Honestly, we got to get you back on after you take over a few traps.
Yeah,
and then
that's a big one.
We'll get a couple updates.
Yeah, a couple trap updates. We might do a little.
We should do like a weekly or a monthly like trap update and just see what traps have been taken.
That'll be a good one. I ain't gonna lie, I got some Some of these schools, you'll be surprised what the process is going to the locker room, what type of food they give us at the hotel. It's been crazy.
Do most of the away stadiums have like decent away locker rooms, or are they mostly like just bare minimum type stuff?
Honestly, most times it's bare minimum. They throw us in the visitor locker room. I feel like the worst locker room since I've been here is probably Penn State. But I mean, of course, like the rivalry, so they put us in like the boiler room. It was hot as I don't know what in there. We were all sweating before the game, so our jerseys were completely soaked. Oh man! But it was bad. Like I was like, I mean, it kind of gave us a little edge. Like I want to put us in the back hallway of the stadium. So okay, let's go out, let's brawl, let's go out and do it. Let's get it on. So
you guys make WVU dress like in Tequila Cowboy.
Yeah,
or something?
We're gonna put them down on the North Shore somewhere in the back of the Tequila Cowboy bathroom where they got to come out in a straight line and walk into the stadium. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. Well, this has been great, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you. Definitely have you back on.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
This has been fun.
Yes.
Good luck today, man.
I appreciate it.
I know I'm saying today as if today's the game, but it's posting, so good luck today.
Let's do it. I appreciate it. Let's work.